Our mission was pretty simple. We did a AMP partner mission the night before, and we were just supposed to be the QRF for a mission that Special Forces and the ANA commandos were doing the next day. So it was pretty much just a QRF for that mission.
Okay. What were some of the events that led up to your acts that got you awarded the Silver Star?
Well, we pushed up. They came under fire, started running out of ammunition. A couple of their weapon systems were breaking down. So we moved up to help assist them with ammo and firepower. It was during that time that they continued to push up with the RCP platoon. Their vehicle was struck by an IED. I was about 50 meters to the north of their position in an open field when the IED struck, and I saw that there was someone laying on the ground, so just moved over to where they were at. That's pretty much the events that led up to what happened.
Okay. What were your feelings? How did you feel when the events started happening? Did you basically go into basically the state of adrenaline?
No, I didn't really feel any adrenaline rush or any real instincts. I guess the only instinct I felt was, believe it or not, like compassion for, because I saw a soldier on the ground. It wasn't moving, so I guess the initial feeling was like, a feeling of compassion and just wanted to help out, a soldier on the ground. So.
So, can you? I know we have your bio, but in your own words, can you describe what actually happened?
Well, yeah. Well, once we ran over Corporal Stein at the time, Sergeant Stein now. He and I were the only two of my platoon that were on the ground because there was quite a few American forces on the ground, and there was a ton of ANA on the ground. A couple platoons worth, I believe, from what I remember. So there was a significant number of friendly forces on the ground. So I didn't want to just mess it up by bringing more and more forces on the ground and just make it more complicated than it had to be, especially with what had happened. So he and I both maneuvered over to, well, I initially maneuvered over by myself. Once I realized that everybody was pulling back because of the fire that we had begun to receive, I pulled him over to my location, and that's when I realized that there was nobody securing the friendly KIA. So he and I both maneuvered up front. I think there was one other ODA member that came up with us. So we maneuvered up there, and that's pretty much, all that was going on. It was just me, him, and one other guy up there. I pretty much asked, if they were going to go retrieve the casualty, and they just wanted to wait until the fire had died down. And, Sergeant Stein and myself that wasn't the answer that we were looking for, so we moved up there and pulled the casualty out and waited until stayed up there and waited till they pulled the wrecker up to flip the other vehicle over where the other KIA was at, and pulled that one out as well. So.
No, obviously, no one goes into a situation knowing what's going to happen. So, after you were told that you're being put in for the Silver Star, how did that make you feel that was happening?
I don't know. I guess my knee-jerk reaction was like, nah, don't put me in for that, because historically, you read about guys who receive Silver Stars and, they're taking out bunkers and doing all sorts of heroic stuff, and I definitely don't class myself among, previous Valor Award recipients, so.
Anything else?
I was going to ask you something.
Huh?
I was going to ask you about that.
It was never a question in my mind to leave a dead or wounded, for that matter, soldier anywhere. I guess what went through my mind was, I wouldn't want to be left out there, and somebody's parents are gonna ask maybe some difficult questions someday. I don't know, and they should be afforded the right to be protected, whether they're dead or alive. It was never a question in my mind whether I was going to leave them there or not. So.
What are you going to do now after you see this? How long you got over here?
We got like a month left, I think. When we get back to the States, I just want to go to Captain's Career Course, and I really want to get command of a company. Sorry. So.
Would you do anything different on that day? Anything that sticks out that you might have done differently?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I would have done differently leading up to that event, but given the same circumstances, no, I wouldn't have done anything differently. Me personally and my guides, no.
Sir, tell me what was going through your mind while they were reading the citation on what you did during that day, during that operation?
I don't know. Try to describe it. It's just a little humbling, I guess. I don't know. Being recognized for something like that, it's not, normally I'm not like a big, make a big deal kind of guy or being a spotlight kind of person. So for them to be reading stuff like that, about me, it's just kind of, yeah, it's just a humbling experience, I guess. So almost a little bit embarrassing, but.
So now that you've been presented your star, how did you feel when the general was thinking on?
It was a great honor. I mean, especially to have General Terry come down here and pin it on. It was a huge honor. So.
So all in all, it was a humbling experience.
Yeah.
An honor.
Yeah. Yep.
Congress approves these, correct?
I believe so. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they pretty much look at Congress. High levels. How is this going to impact your life? Your career?
I don't really know that it will impact it. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not something that I'm gonna, use as a bargaining chip or anything like that. I mean, it's not going to change who I am or what I do, or really anything. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change how other people look at me, but as far as like, myself, it's not going to change me.
Soundbite. It's basically last weekend. How did you feel when they read the citation and when they put it on? Just kind of mentioned the humbling and honor part.
Okay.
Basically, how you felt about it, thinking about some of the events.
Okay.
How it's, I think you mentioned before, sometimes it doesn't. Did you say before sometimes it doesn't feel real, or?
No. Well, I mean, when they were reading the citation, yeah, it did bring me back to the location. I mean, and you think about the two American soldiers that died. So I mean, it brought me back to that. So I mean, there was a feeling of sadness. It's a humbling experience to hear it read again and what I did, what my platoon did, and then it was, I mean, truly an honor to be honored in that way, I guess you could say. But
How do you feel about the guys that were with you that night, the ones that went through all this with you?
Yeah, the two guys, Sergeant Stein and Sergeant Oliver, I mean, those two guys are the finest NCOs I've ever worked with, worked for, or had work under me. So, I mean, they're both fantastic NCOs, and I think the sky's the limit for both of them in their military careers if they want to make it a career. So, I mean, they're like brothers, you know. I mean, more like sons and brothers. I don't know, but you know, yeah, definitely. We're close.